The sun was dipping low over Willow Creek, a quiet suburban enclave in Oregon, casting a golden glow across the annual Summer Harmony Festival on July 12, 2024. The air buzzed with laughter, the scent of sizzling hot dogs, and the strumming of a local band tuning up on a makeshift stage. Kids darted through the crowd, faces painted with bright colors, clutching melting ice cream cones. I was flipping burgers at the charity grill, raising funds for the local animal shelter, when I noticed my wife, Emily, locked in a tense exchange by the Homeowners Association booth. The woman she was arguing with, Margaret Hensley, known to most as the neighborhood's self-proclaimed dictator and HOA president, was waving a stack of papers like a weapon. At 55, Margaret had mastered the art of suburban tyranny, her authority fueled by years of unchecked power and an unhealthy obsession with community Facebook groups. Emily, meanwhile, was keeping a low profile. She'd just been named police chief of Willow Creek the week before, a fact we'd kept under wraps for security reasons until the official announcement the following Monday. She wore a heavy jacket despite the summer heat, a detail I'd noted but didn't question. Emily had spent 15 years climbing the ranks, specializing in financial crimes, and she knew how to handle herself when someone like Margaret tried to throw their weight around. Margaret's voice cut through the festival chatter, sharp and theatrical, as she brandished what she claimed was a legally binding document. She was demanding every household pony up $25,000 within 48 hours for an emergency community safety upgrade. Her confidence was unshakable, her smirk suggesting she'd already won. Emily, calm as ever, asked to see the meeting minutes and voting records authorizing such a steep fee. She pointed out that Margaret hadn't followed proper HOA protocols: no notice, no quorum, no transparency. That's when Margaret's facade cracked. Instead of producing evidence, she pulled out a document adorned with official-looking seals and a judge's signature, claiming it was a court-approved mandate. "This isn't a request," she declared, her voice dripping with smug authority. "It's a legal order, backed by my good friend Judge Walter Grayson." Emily's hand twitched toward her belt, a subtle move I recognized from years of watching her navigate high-stakes situations. The crowd was starting to notice, and 16-year-old Ethan Parker, whose mom ran the local bakery, had his phone out, live-streaming the showdown. His teenage knack for drama told him this was about to go viral. Margaret, reveling in the attention, dialed 911 with a performance worthy of a soap opera, claiming Emily was disorderly and trespassing by defying a court order. Within minutes, sirens wailed, and 2 patrol cars rolled up. Officers Daniel Harper and Lisa Nguyen, both new to the Willow Creek force, stepped out, unaware of the storm they were walking into. Margaret rushed toward them, waving her folder like a battle flag, spinning a tale of being threatened by a rogue resident. The festival fell silent, the band's music fading as neighbors craned their necks to watch. Margaret's voice boomed. "Officers, this woman's disrupting our family event. Arrest her for disorderly conduct and trespassing." Emily stood her ground, her calm unnerving. I could see a glint in her eyes that told me Margaret had just made a colossal mistake. As Margaret laid out her case, Officer Harper, a seasoned cop with a no-nonsense demeanor, asked, "Ma'am, what's the probable cause for an arrest here?" Margaret doubled down, claiming Emily's refusal to pay was contempt of court and her presence at the festival was trespassing on HOA property. It was a bold stretch of the law, and I couldn't stay quiet. "Officers," I said, stepping forward, hands visible, "there's some confusion about these documents' legitimacy." Margaret spun on me, her face red. "This is a police matter now. Step back." But Emily caught my eye, giving me a subtle nod that said she was about to turn the tables. Officer Nguyen, still finding her footing in Willow Creek after transferring from a nearby town, asked Emily, "Ma'am, where'd you work before coming here?" Emily's reply was casual. 15 years in the county, just took a new role here. Margaret's smirk faltered, as if she sensed her script unraveling. She glanced at her phone, expecting backup that wasn't coming. Then, with a theatrical flourish, she announced, "Officers, this woman has 5 minutes to produce $25,000, or I demand you cuff her for violating a court order." She started a timer on her phone, milking the drama as Ethan's livestream hit 3,000 viewers, comments flooding in about HOA nightmares. Emily's response was a serene smile that threw Margaret off balance. "I appreciate your enthusiasm for procedure, Mrs. Hensley," she said, her tone so polite it made Margaret's ultimatum seem absurd. "But let's clarify the proper protocols first." Officer Harper, his skepticism growing, asked to see Margaret's documents. As he flipped through them, his brow furrowed. The seals were off, blurry edges, misaligned registration marks, and handwritten date corrections screamed forgery. "Ma'am," he said, "why would Judge Grayson use a scanned seal instead of an original?" Margaret's voice pitched higher. "Are you accusing me of forging legal documents? Do you know who I am?" She dialed a number on speakerphone, barking, "Walter, they're ignoring your court order. Do something." Emily, seizing the moment, said to Harper, "Officer, could you verify with dispatch if Judge Grayson's seal is still active? I believe he retired last year." The crowd, now swelling with curious neighbors, held its breath. Harper's radio crackled. "Unit 4, Judge Grayson's seal was revoked upon his retirement 9 months ago. Any documents using it are fraudulent." Margaret's face drained of color. Emily slowly unzipped her jacket, revealing a police chief's badge gleaming in the sunlight. "I think it's time we clarify who has jurisdiction here," she said, handing Harper her ID. "I'm Emily Carter, Willow Creek's police chief, appointed last week." Dispatch confirmed her status, and the officers snapped to attention, saluting her. The festival grounds were silent, save for the faint hum of Ethan's live stream, now at 20,000 viewers. Margaret's timer hit 0, but her ultimatum was meaningless. Emily's voice cut through. "Officers, I'm requesting temporary detention of all documents and devices for investigation." Margaret's confidence shattered. That's when Mrs. Evelyn Harper, a 70-year-old retired librarian who'd lived in Willow Creek for decades, stepped forward with a box of meticulously organized records. "Chief Carter," she said, "I've been documenting Margaret's HOA activities for 6 years. Something always felt off." Her files revealed unauthorized transfers, missing quorums, and payments to a non-existent Willow Security Group. Most damning were receipts showing $90,000 funneled from the HOA to Margaret's accounts, disguised as consulting fees and lost in risky crypto investments. Margaret, now frantic, bolted for her SUV, but the festival's layout trapped her vehicle. Detective Laura Bennett from the State Attorney General's office arrived, her badge catching the light as she took charge. Emily briefed her, "We're dealing with organized fraud, forged documents, and potential racketeering." A search of Margaret's SUV uncovered laptops and USB drives detailing a scheme targeting 18 HOAs across Oregon, with plans to net $6 million. Emails between Margaret and Grayson, a disgraced former judge under federal investigation, outlined a fundraising initiative using fake court orders to intimidate residents. A spreadsheet listed 52 Willow Creek families, with notes on their finances and likelihood of compliance. Margaret locked herself in her SUV, frantically deleting messages, unaware she'd accidentally started a Facebook live stream. For 15 minutes, 1,500 of her contacts watched her panic, call co-conspirators, and threaten lawsuits. Officer Nguyen read her Miranda rights as Bennett prepared federal charges. Margaret's final stand came as she stepped out, defeated, muttering to Emily, "You think you've won, but this is bigger than you know. There are people you'll never catch." 3 days later, Margaret's interrogation at the FBI field office exposed a network spanning 27 HOAs across 5 states, run by a fake law firm in Portland. Her confession triggered Operation Safe Suburbs, with raids recovering $5 million in stolen assets. Margaret was sentenced to 6 years in prison and ordered to repay $400,000. Grayson got 8 years and lost his pension. Most chillingly, Margaret revealed they'd sold residents' personal data, social security numbers, financial records, even home security Cadesto identity theft rings. Willow Creek transformed. Evelyn became HOA president, using recovered funds for a playground, community center, and aid for seniors. Emily's leadership made her a local hero, her transparent policing a model for other towns. Margaret's half-built pool became a community swim center, a symbol of justice. Ethan's live stream launched his journalism career, with 60,000 followers and internship offers. But 6 months later, A call from the FBI's white-collar crime division hinted at a larger network, still active and more cautious. Our fight wasn't over. What would you do if your HOA demanded thousands with no proof? Have you ever faced a Karen in your community? Could you spot a fraud like this before it's too late? Comment below, share your story, and subscribe for more tales of justice.